Hey folks, Jim Wallace here, Executive Director of Gun Owners Action League, here in the Hornady Goals Studio. I'm with...
Mike Harris, Director of Public Policy for Gun Owners Action League.
Hey, you remembered his name and title. We're
Yeah,
doing good.
you know.
Right? You know, it's been a long time. So, God, how long has it been? 4 years?
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
yeah, 4 years.
Oh my God, and he hasn't turned gray yet, which is cool. So
Not yet.
not yet. But
I just
we're
turned
working
40, so, you know,
know.
that's coming, I'm sure.
on it. There's that.
Yeah.
And 2 toddlers.
Yes.
Oh my Lord, that'll turn you gray.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mike, we got an interesting case that has come our way.
Yes, we do.
We've already put out an alert about it. We are trying to do what we can to help this individual. We normally don't take on individual cases.
Mm-hmm.
Rather, we want cases that are going to affect the greatest number of people. But, Mike, this one's
could.
so abhorrent.
But this could help us, or
Could.
a number of people. I mean, this could set a good precedent if we get enough of an oomph on it.
There's so many pieces to this abhorrent case.
Yeah.
It's what intrigued me when I first heard about it,
Mm-hmm.
and certainly has started to intrigue a lot of people,
Number of people.
in the legal field that we deal with. So let's just get down to it. Back in, let's see, what was that? The
June.
26th of June, there was a gentleman and a lady that were pulled over in Gardner, Mass. And they were pulled over because their Arizona registration for
Was
the car
expired.
was expired. So they were pulled over by police and the car had to be towed. Long story short, they found guns in the car, which the gentleman will call, his name is Wayne, he goes by Wayne, that said, yeah, I have guns. We're moving from Arizona up to New Hampshire, but they were doing, I guess, some DoorDash
in
deliveries
Massachusetts, yep.
here, trying to make some money because they're very poor, and they had just enough money to get here. So, long story short, they found the police report, which we have, supposedly 3 handguns,
Mm-hmm.
5 rifles. Now, the fiance, who was in the car, is telling us that 2 of the rifles were pellet guns, and one was an old rusty bolt action 22.
Yeah.
But the killer was that he had a loaded, so-called large capacity handgun with him. Subsequently, he has been arrested. Now, this is what's really got us involved. Under the dangerousness statute in Massachusetts, he is being detained without bail. Now, mere possession, and Mike and I reviewed the dangerousness statute again,
Yeah.
but mere possession without a license is enough to make you dangerous in the eyes of Massachusetts, which is just so unconstitutional. It's not even funny, Mike.
Yeah, it's very weird. It's especially galling because once your firearms have been removed from your possession, are you still dangerous? I mean, that's the thing. It's very weird to me that's a condition, but I don't know. I guess you have a propensity to purchase firearms, so that makes you dangerous if you're not supposed to have them.
I was going to say the propensity part could be a problem.
Yeah, it's just very weird.
But so here's an individual, I think he's 51 years old, Air Force veteran.
Yep.
No criminal history as far as we can tell. We've checked, can't find any criminal history. There was no underlying factor in the arrest like domestic assault or
no violent,
nothing.
no violent anything.
Nothing. If he had been pulled over 20 miles north in New Hampshire,
He would have been fine.
yeah, other than gets his car registered, he'd have been fine.
Yeah.
So now he's being held, detained without bail. Now they can detain him for 120 days, Mike,
Yep.
I think is the
I
statute.
think that's what it is, yes.
Without bail under the statute. Now the detainment, I believe in his records, has been appealed all the way to Superior Court. And even they said, nope, we're going to hold him. So the mere exercising of your civil right without a government permission slip has landed this guy in the Worcester County Jail without bail. Now, even if we somehow were able to get the dangerousness piece undone, that only means that he is due bail.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't mean he's free. It just means that he's eligible for bail.
Yeah.
But because they've already labeled him dangerous, you imagine what that bail's going to be?
It's going to be exorbitant, especially since he's an indigent person.
Right.
You know, supposedly. So, I mean, he's essentially being persecuted for being poor and wanting to exercise his Second Amendment rights at the same time.
Which they were pretty much, I guess, living out of their car.
Yeah.
So that's why all their possessions were in the car as they were traveling across the country to get to New Hampshire.
Yeah, stopping here and there to make some money on the way up there.
So the other than the dangerousness piece, which to us is so unconstitutional.
Yeah.
Now, if you tried to read the dangerousness statute, good luck. I dealt with that thing probably a dozen years ago with Steve Brewer when he was still in. And I swear to God, they had a sale on commas. Because rather than breaking it down into sub-paragraphs and listing each offense, they just put an offense, comma, an offense, comma, an offense, comma. But then there's other language within those commas that you're not sure what attaches to what.
Yeah.
Now, many years ago, I was able to, one little tiny victory in there in the law is that they wanted to, if you were in mere possession of a magazine without a license, a large capacity magazine, you could be declared dangerous.
Right.
No gun, no ammo.
Just a magazine.
You could have had a bag of chips and a magazine, and you would have been declared dangerous. Steve Brewer at least helped us get that out of there. But in order to include the magazine, now the gun has to be present.
Right. Yeah. I mean, which is still a silly.
Oh, my Lord.
It's large capacity if the magazine's in the car at the same time. But if it's not large capacity.
Yeah. So, whatever.
For the purposes of that traffic stop.
Exactly.
Anyways. It's ridiculous.
So the biggest hit that he's going to face, and we don't know how the district attorney is going to proceed with the charges.
Right.
Now, the charges on the police report, and we can't always go by the police report.
No.
Because how many times have we seen on Boston police feeds somebody arrested for possession of a handgun without an FID? So basically, they just throw some charges down. That gets you detained. And then the DA pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, learning, when I was learning the law, they said one of the first items that's challenged in a criminal case is the police report itself. So yes, you can't always go verbatim by what the police report says.
Right. So, but the biggest piece in this is going to be the large capacity handgun.
Right.
That in itself could be 10 years in prison. So if you look at the charges that this man, otherwise innocent, is facing, he could be facing decades in prison if they wanted to push everything.
Right. And this is what we talked about back when this stuff was all kind of moving forward. I mean, this obviously possession was always an issue, but it's an indigent person being whacked just for being who they are.
Now, see, this also brings in a lot of other pieces, problems, or as Mike calls them, they're not problems, they're features of the gun laws.
Not a bug.
Yeah, exactly. Is he a resident? Is he a new resident? Or is he a non-resident traveling through?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different moving pieces there that his attorneys are going to have to figure out. Now, I will say that right now he's being represented by a public attorney.
Public defender, yes.
Public defender. We have contacted one of our excellent, not only criminal defense attorneys, but phenomenal Second Amendment attorney.
Yeah, rock star.
And he is going to meet with the fiance to see what we can do at goal. And again, we normally don't take individual cases, but this one is so abhorrent.
Well, it has implications on a lot of different aspects.
So many different aspects.
Right.
So here's the thing. We don't know what they're going to consider him to be. And then therefore we don't know what the district attorney is going to pursue as far as actual charges. But in the meantime, he sits in jail.
Right. And I mean, the Donnell and Marquis decisions are kind of really where we kind of are here at this moment. So, so it's really just Marquis, honestly, because Donnell is based on the previous version of the assault weapons ban, or no, I'm sorry, the previous version of the licensing statute. So,
yeah, before it was bad, now it's good.
Yeah, now it's good. Yeah, so we'll kind of have to see where we are. I mean, there's nowhere in any of this documentation that says he was trying to get his pistol permit or his LTC, or his FID or anything, or even an out-of-state temporary version of either one. So,
well, yeah, but according to their story, they were working their way to New Hampshire. So there would be no reason to start the process here.
Yep.
But again,
does FOPA cover this?
Again, are you traveling through?
Right.
And the fact that it wasn't unloaded and locked in a container. So you got transportation, you have storage, you have resident, you have non-resident. This is also why all of us here at Goal have been trying to warn non-residents. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to get any further guidance, as we've been talking about before.
Yeah, that's
from
another
EOS.
aspect of this.
And just the other day, yesterday, I was at the FCAB meeting, and I brought up hunting season's coming up, and we still have no guidance on non-residents.
Right.
We know for a fact that even if they have a temporary license for Mass, they still can't hunt with a semi-automatic, which is just bizarre.
So weird.
But even if they're not, can they bring any gun here without an actual temporary gun license? Mm-hmm. And we're told, oh, no, Fish and Wildlife has already figured that out.
They've already said it was fine.
Really? Fish and Wildlife? So, they have some suggestions, I'll call them, on the Fish and Wildlife website. But there's no signature to it. There's no individual like the Secretary of Public Safety or even the Colonel of the Environmental Police. There's no name to it. So, number one, is it true? Is it factual? But is it an affirmative defense? We know you can't come in for competitions anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Unless you have a temporary license. And even then, semi-autos, I think, are out. So
for the most part, yeah.
It's very complex. And there's, again, this case has so many tendrils, I guess.
Implications.
And because here's the other thing, Mike, and I had this discussion yesterday with a couple of people, and I actually did Toby Leary's show, Rapid Fire.
We'll put the link to that down here so you guys can take a look at that, because it was on the same topic.
Yep. I joked with Toby. I says, I think the only thing rapid fire about you, Toby, is your opinions, because those come out bam, 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 bam. You're not shy about that.
No.
So anyway, so here's an interesting quandary for us. Mm-hmm. We are looking at an individual case probably for the first time, and there's decisions that he is going to have to make.
Yeah.
And us, if we decide that we can jump into this.
He meaning Kyle, the defendant, Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle, Wayne.
Wayne. Right.
Yeah, he goes by Wayne, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. But is our mission to get him out of jail as fast as possible? If we do that, you may lose standing in certain issues that you might want to bring to federal court.
But I think, again, it's a moral issue.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
So, but there's also, maybe, Mike, you can describe real quickly the differences between a facial challenge and an individual challenge.
So, facial challenge is just challenging the law as it's written, saying, hey,
without a plaintiff, right?
Yeah, without a plaintiff, right. And then an individual challenge is, or challenging the law without a plaintiff per se, I guess, just kind of saying like, hey, this is an unconstitutional law. It affects so and so this various ways. And then having a plaintiff, you have somebody with specific interests and who is looking to get a specific outcome for themselves rather than an interpretation of the law.
Right.
Yeah.
So there are things that we can do, and we're exploring. Unfortunately, we all know this stuff costs tons of money. Once you dive into this, it's incredibly expensive, especially if you end up trying to petition federal courts. So we're going to explore probably over the next week. We're going to explore with our legal team everything we can possibly do to try to address this, because at some point, we'll do our best to help Wayne, but at some point we have to address the fact that, number one, people are being detained with no underlying issue other than possession without a license.
Yeah.
That has to be purely unconstitutional. Now, I've said forever, and I've always had arguments even with our people, Mike, over the years. Well, just enforce Bartley-Fox. No, don't enforce Bartley-Fox. Bartley-Fox is tremendously unconstitutional in my eyes. Now, maybe a civil fine.
Yeah.
That, hey, you're in possession. You don't have my permission slip from the government. So maybe a civil fine, but never prison time for exercising a civil right.
Well, yeah, Marquis speaks directly to that already. I mean, that was the point of that case, was to talk about whether or not requiring an out-of-stater to have a specific license to carry in the state is valid or not, or is constitutional or not. And unfortunately, Marquis said yes. So, that's kind of where we are at the moment. I mean, so technically, according to the SJC, it is constitutional to require this. This is going to have to be some kind of a federal challenge.
Oh, it has to be. We know, at least in the Goal office right now.
That aspect of it is anyway.
We basically say that the High Court of Mass, the SJC, is just a rubber stamp for Michael Day.
Yep.
Well, the funny thing is, any subject matter, I don't think that court in years has ruled against the government. I can't think of anything.
I can't think of anything. And I mean, case in point, when we're talking about, I think in this, one of the issues that we were talking about on this, they said, we're just going to take the legislature's intent and run with it. And that's only supposed to be one part of a court's analysis. It's supposed to be one small piece. But in the infinite wisdom of the legislature, this is what we're going to say.
Well, so what was odd. The case? Vega. It was the suitability case. Dangerousness. Yeah. I'm sorry, it was dangerousness. Yeah, in 2022 maybe. And I'll never forget reading that.
You're teaching me something here.
And the justice actually said in the decision that we're relying on the learned experience.
That's what I was referencing.
Like,
that's the case. Yeah.
What?
Because you had mentioned that yesterday when we were talking about this.
Learned experience with firearms and Constitution. There's, oh my God, I can't believe it.
They're all experts.
Oh, absolutely.
That is one of the brutal things about working in the legislature, is you do have to become an accidental expert on like 1,000 different things at once in order to be expected to rule or vote properly on a proposed piece of legislation. But at the same time, you only become an expert in the stuff you care about.
Right.
And case in point, the first meeting I ever took as an employee of Goal was when we went to go meet with the chair of Public Safety and Homeland Security. And I remember walking out of that meeting with a lot less hair than I went in because they didn't know the both the representative and his counsel, like his attorney, did not know that there was an online portal, did not know that there were two different types of licenses in Massachusetts that you could
FID,
get, or
the
what
LTC.
they were.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, you've been the chair of this committee for 10 years at this point. You don't know this?
So here's the individual that's literally supposed to make law.
Regarding firearms
yes.
in the legislature in Massachusetts. That's now changed to the judiciary for some reason, but traditionally that is the committee that every firearms bill goes through.
The learned legislature. Yes, we got to love it.
It's brutal.
The problem with the challenge, the dangerousness statute challenge, at least as I read, and I think it's Vega, is that there were so many underlying factors that the justices were just looking for a reason to deny this guy. So... But I think you can't challenge the entire dangerousness statute. but the individual piece, that mere possession without a license,
Right.
could make you dangerous, and will in Massachusetts, obviously. Wayne will tell you that. He's sitting in jail.
Yeah.
That may be a facial challenge that we might be able to bring to federal court. Again, it's just incredible. I don't know if it's just me, Mike, but it seems that within the last month or two, there has just been a slew of unconstitutional prosecutions.
Yeah, everything's ramping up.
It's really crazy out there.
I mean, we're in the middle of the summer. Everybody's outside, like doing things, and we're getting ready for hunting season. I mean, well, they say that protest season heats up in the summertime too. So
That's true, because nobody wants to freeze to death when they're protesting.
I think it's a symptom of the same thing.
Well, and here, here's Wayne sitting in jail. Now, what was that case with the illegal immigrant out of Leominster?
Leominster. Yeah,
I think he was
sexual assault.
Yeah.
And they let him out, and then he went to New York and
got on a moped and shot an ICE officer.
Shot an ICE agent.
So
great stuff.
Who's dangerous here? I mean, I don't want to get into the whole immigration thing, but somebody who's here illegally and is arrested for sexual assault, we'll just let him go.
Yeah, somebody who has no ties to any community in the United States.
Right.
Nobody knows who he is, where he's going to be, or whatever. And that's kind of usually the criteria to be considered dangerous,
right?
Untraceable, and with the propensity to commit violent crime. However,
well, that was one of the things in his dangerousness hearings. They said, well, he could be a flight risk because he has family in Arizona. Well, I have family in Scotland somewhere. Yeah. So, whatever. So anyway, folks, this is a very interesting case with a lot of different levels that we're trying to decipher and trying to do our best. I know his fiance, Saranda, is it Saranda? Mm-hmm. They have, it's not a GoFundMe page. It's a different system.
Give, Send, Go, maybe?
Something, yeah. So she's trying to raise money because they're broke. To try to help them as best we can. We will certainly be exploring how we can help them coming up in the next week or so. And
we'll post all the information below, too, so you can take a look at the case. We have the Gardner District Court docket number, the Worcester Superior Court bail petition number. We won't put their contact information in here, but we'll put everything else.
No, but we also do. I think we can probably get them up, at least so they're downloadable on the website. Yeah. The dangerousness hearing,
the police report, all that stuff.
All that stuff. And if you want to get entertained, we'll put up the dangerousness statute so you can try to read it. Good luck. So anyway, folks, this is a very critical case. Our heart goes out to Wayne and his fiance. They get trapped in the bigotry that is Massachusetts against the Second Amendment, and his life is being destroyed. Their lives are being destroyed for absolutely no legitimate reason. And as far as I'm concerned, in pure violation of the Constitution of the United States. So we're hoping beyond hope that we can do something coming up very soon. Maybe we can get up on the remember what we did for 4420? We got up on the overpasses and we're going to hold up a sign, Free Wayne or something. But
free Karen Reed.
Free Wayne.
Free Wayne.
Free Wayne. Well, in this instance, nobody died, but I'm not going to get into that trial. So anyway, folks, we just wanted to make you aware of this case. We'll be working on it as fast and as best we can. And we thank all of the legal people that we've contacted for their help so far for basically nothing at this point. But
the attorneys
forward,
the two-way attorneys are always willing to have quick conversations with us on this stuff.
We've even had discussions at the national level just to see if there's something we can do about challenging, that little piece of the dangerousness statute. So anyway, Mike, anything else to add?
No, just sorry for the first couple seconds. I think the first minute or so, your microphone wasn't on for some reason. So I think this one picked it up, but sorry for that. Well, I'll make sure to turn it up at in the edit as much as I can.
I think that was a plan.
But yeah.
All this new equipment we have
I
in the
know.
Hornady studio.
Yeah, this is our first video with our new cameras.
You know,
Yeah.
what? Geez, I don't know. But
We're
anyway,
trying to up our game, and
Yeah.
it's just a learning curve.
not for me. It's all for him. You know, I there's no way I could run a board. Never mind the boards. But yeah, this is pretty cool. You know, again, we'd like to thank Hornady too. They have
they've
been
helping
so
us all the time.
generous to us. You know, they sponsored the mystery safe, the mystery range bag. I can't tell you how much stuff they've donated to us, especially at the last big event, right? The 250th event. You know, they've just been phenomenal. So
Yeah, they're awesome.
but anyway, thanks for joining us. We'll keep you updated on this case and everything else. We will have news very soon on some of the federal cases not related to this one. That should be filed very soon. And check out gold.org/legal. We'll try to keep that page updated.
Yep.
Thanks
Thanks a
Mike.
lot.